Hello and welcome to today's broadcast of IHSAA Boys Sectional Swimming on Hamilton County TV, presented by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating over 29 years in the business. For those of you viewing at home today, Lane 8 is going to be at the top of your screen and Lane 1 is going to be at the bottom. Your first event today is going to be the men's 200 medley relay.
We will begin today's competition with the boys 200-yard medley relay. Our first heat will be the consolation finals.
Okay, and the consolation final is starting. In lane 4, you're going to have Eastern, and in lane 5, you're going to have Garin. The backstroker for Eastern today is the senior Caden Williams. The backstroker for Garin is Riley Madden. And coming up next will be your breaststrokers. For Eastern, you're going to have Philip Beadham, and for Garin, you're going to have Trent Turner. As these breaststrokers finish, you're going to see the butterflyers. For Eastern, you have Caleb Vogel, and for Garin, you have Aaron Craddock. Looks like Eastern has the lead over Garin now. And finally, your freestylers. For Eastern, you have Trey Lukes, and for Garin, you have Jose Quintero.
Looks like Eastern is going to take the consolation heat with a time of 2:02.79. Garin right behind them with a 2:04.64.
And that's about a 3-second drop for Garin from prelims. Okay, and a thing to remember about finals today is that the most important thing for these swimmers is to be getting these state cuts. So we're going to see some really fast swimming.
That's right, the state cut for the 200-yard medley relay is a 1:36.77.
Alternates have also been really important because of the pandemic this year. So those alternates have had like a greater chance of being put in relays because of quarantines especially.
This is going to be your championship finals heat of the 200 medley relay.
And for your championship final for the boys 200 medley relay. In lane 1, you have Westfield. And lane 2, Western. Lane 3, Noblesville. And lane 4, you have Carmel. Lane 5, Tipton. Lane 6, Northwestern. Lane 7, Maconaquah. And lane 8, Kokomo.
That's right. Carmel was your state champion in this event last year, so we'll see if they can do it again.
And Tipton last year they placed 5th, and right now they're seated 2nd, so keep an eye out for them too. Your backstrokers for the medley relay. In lane 1, Gavin Yoakum. Lane 2, Drew Caldwell. Lane 3, Jeremiah Ledwith. Lane 4, Carter Lancaster. Lane 5, Aiden Stanley. Lane 6, Drew Gingrich. Lane 7, Cohen Thompson. And lane 8, Adam Binney. Look at Lancaster's underwaters on that.
Yeah, they really were.
And your breaststrokers are starting to enter the water. In lane 1, Nathaniel Hand. Lane 2, Mason Hill. Lane 3, Aiden Biddle. Lane 4, Ryan Malicki. Lane 5, Ben Albach. Lane 6, Caleb Champion. Lane 7, Cole Bretzman. And lane 8, Isaac Elkin.
Carmel's in the lead right now. We've got a race between Noblesville and Tipton for second. Noblesville's got a slight lead over them right now.
And as your butterflies start to enter the water, in lane 1, you have Cooper Tinsley. Lane 2, Peter Bradshaw. Lane 3, Luke Whitlock. Lane 4, Christopher Holmes. Lane 5, Carter Harrison. Lane 6, Austin Husky. Lane 7, Richard Leary. And lane 8, Benjamin Hillman.
Noble's got an even larger lead now, but it looks like Northwestern sort of catching up to Tipton here.
For the freestylers, you have in lane 1, Will Craig. Lane 2, Taylor Rathbun. Lane 3, Kevin Cameron. Lane 4, William Koch. Lane 5, Stone Conaway. Lane 6, Ethan Champion. Lane 7, Hunter O'Connor. And lane 8, Andrew J.
Carmel just took first with a time of a 1:32.46. The whole 4 seconds under the state cut, so they will go on to compete at the state championship meet and hopefully win that state title again. Noblesville took second with a time of a 1:38.38. Tipton third with a time of a 1:40.54. Fourth will go to Northwestern with a time of 1:44.61.
And Noblesville, they were just 2 seconds off of the state cut, so maybe we'll see them getting called in this week.
There's going to be a short break in between each of the events after the finals heats. That's just to give the swimmers some rest so the meet doesn't run too fast. Those relays are interesting because Noblesville, who just took second, only has one swimmer that competed last year that was on the relay this year.
And before every championship heat, you might hear the songs playing in the pool. Those are walkout songs. So normally it's a tradition for the home pool's oldest swimmer in each event at this meet to choose a song for the championship final to walk out to. It normally gets the swimmers pretty hyped up, and it creates like a more energetic atmosphere, which is especially important this year because of the empty pool deck. Since all the swimmers are waiting in the Ox gym right now instead of being able to cheer on their teammates from the side of the pool. Okay, so we're going to give you the current team scores right now so that you can see those as they change. 10th right now is Garin Catholic with 28 points. 9th is Tipton with 32 points. 8th is Eastern with 38 points. 6th is Kokomo with 39 points, who is also tied with Northwestern for 6th place. 5th is Westfield with 41 points. 4th is Mechaniqua with 44 points. 3rd is Western with 46 points. 2nd is Carmel with 50 points. And our #1 team right now is Noblesville with 65 points. Now that is with diving scores added in. Diving took place last night. And the Noblesville divers got 3rd and 4th. It was Parker Mutter and Evan Stingley. So they scored a lot of the points that you're seeing right now.
Due to COVID this year, we're not going to be able to do the normal awards session that we normally have. Instead, each individual swimmer and relays will stand at the block that resembles what place they earned.
Which is a nice way of doing that. That still gives the opportunity for the specific swimmers to be recognized.
Yeah, just without the podium. So first you had Carmel with a 132.14. Second, Noblesville with a 138.38. Third was Tipton with a 140.54. Fourth, Northwestern with a 144.61. Fifth, Western with a 145.88. Sixth, Westfield with a 147.25. Seventh was Mechaniqua with a 149.64. Sorry about that delay. Kokomo was 8th with a 151.08. Eastern 9th with a 202.79. And 10th was Garin with a 204.64. Next up, you're going to have the 200-yard freestyle. And this will be your consolation heat first up.
Some of these swimmers that you're about to see are just coming straight off of the 200 medley relay, like the sophomore from Kokomo, Andrew J. He's going to be in lane 1. He just swam the freestyle leg of the 200 medley relay, so he's going straight from the end of that relay right into this race.
Yeah, it's a pretty fast turnaround, so we'll see how he fares.
And especially from just sprinting 150 to this 200, and a 200 is sort of like a longer sprint, so it's almost like he's sprinting 550s right in a row. So as your consolation final is about to begin, in lane 1 you're going to have Andrew J. Lane 2, Walker Hayes. Lane 3, Ethan Champion. Lane 4, Carter Harrison. Lane 5, Justin Dubois. Lane 6, Gavin Yoakum. Lane 7, Liam Westland, and lane 8, Will Baxter. Now lane 2, Walker Hayes, lane 3, Ethan Champion, lane 4, Carter Harrison, and then lane 7, Liam Westland are all returning to the same final from last year.
And after your first 50, you've got Justin Du Bois from Noblesville in lane 5 out in a 25.46. Up there with him in lane 3 is Ethan Champion from Northwestern.
And you'll notice with this, freestylers tend to stick to freestyle in high school meets. So a lot of these 200 freestylers, you're going to see them again in the 500, like Evan Lake, the junior from Westfield. And then 50 freestylers often swim the 100 freestyle too, like Tyler Cox, the senior from Noblesville.
You've still got Justin Du Bois out in the lead, but Ethan Champion is probably going to start trying to make his move here as they head into the final 50. And let's not forget lane 4, Carter Harrison from Tipton.
He looks like he's starting to edge up a little bit here.
Oh wow, all the way out in lane 7, Liam Westland has gotten himself up to second with a 125.46 as he heads into the final 50.
Justin Du Bois looks like he's going to have a pretty big time drop from prelims.
Really well, and it looks like he is going to take this consolation heat now. His time, a 152.26. A solid 2-second drop from prelims. And Liam Westland from Noblesville is going to take second with a 154.98. Third, Carter Harrison from Tipton, 155.67. And Ethan Champion from Northwestern will take fourth with a time of 156.18.
And those are some pretty big points for Noblesville there. Justin Du Bois was seated second in this heat, and then Liam Westland was seated 6th. So getting first and second, that's going to add some points to Noblesville's score. Hey, Maya,
Yes, Jordan.
what kind of stroke can you use on toast?
I don't know, what stroke?
Butterfly.
Next up, we're going to have the 200 free championship final. Great song choice.
And your championship final of the 200 free. In lane 1, you have Graham Burton. Lane 2, Evan Lake. Lane 3, Caden Lancaster. Lane 4, Griffin Hadley. Lane 5, Aaron Shackle. Lane 6, Aiden Yonkis. Lane 7, Luke Whitlock. And lane 8, Logan Pittner. Now, Caden Lancaster placed second in this event last year. And then Graham Burton in lane 1, the senior from Tipton. He actually won the consolation heat last year, so let's see what he can do.
All three Carmel swimmers are out in front, but behind them, it looks like the rest of the field is fairly even. Lane 2, you've got Evan Lake from Westfield, though, and it looks like he is right behind those Carmel swimmers.
And all of these swimmers really have good kick-driven strokes for this event.
After the 100, Griffin Hadley is in the lead with a 47.98 for his first 100 split. Heading into the last 100, Griffin Hadley still in the lead. 113.35 is his split. He is followed by Caden Lancaster and Aaron Shackle, also from Carmel. Griffin Hadley is going to take first for the 200 freestyle with a 137.93. Second will be Caden Lancaster. Third, Aaron Shackle. Fourth, Luke Whitlock. And fifth, Evan Lake. Their state cut's a 143.09. So it looks like all three Carmel swimmers were under that for this event.
And as these swimmers warm down, I just want to mention the team scoring for this meet. The scoring at this meet goes all the way to 16th place. So first place scores 20 points, and it works its way down to 1 point for 16th place. And then relays are double points, which is why they're so important to overall team scores.
we've got your award ceremony for the 200-yard freestyle. 8th place, Graham Burton from Tipton. 7th, Logan Pittner from Kokomo. In 6th, Aiden Yonkis from Westfield. 5th, Evan Lake from Westfield. 4th, Luke Whitlock from Noblesville. 3rd, Aaron Shackle from Carmel. 2nd, Caden Lancaster from Carmel. And your winner for the 200-yard freestyle, Griffin Hadley, a senior from Carmel. In case you didn't catch it before, all 3 of those Carmel swimmers that placed 1, 2, and 3 all were under the state.
Steps up to the blocks. In lane 1, you're going to have Luca Barbosa. Lane 2, Austin Husky. Lane 3, Cole Bretzman. Lane 4, Caleb Champion. Lane 5, Aiden Biddle. Lane 6, Wyatt Wade. Lane 7, Jeremiah Ledwith. And lane 8, Diego Geiner.
Like we said yesterday, we talked about breaststrokers in the IM. And this heat in lanes 3, 4, and 5, that's Cole Bretzman, Caleb Champion, and Aiden Biddle. They're all breaststrokers, are all in the championship final of the 100 breaststroke. So when they get to the breaststroke leg, that's going to be something to watch. And they might pull ahead of the rest of the field.
And they're all right next to each other, too, so that'll be a great race to watch on that third 50.
Yeah, right now you've got Aiden Biddle in the lead. He was out in a 25.84. Pretty much a whole second ahead of the rest of the field, though, as he heads into the backstroke. Lane 3 now, that's Cole Bretzman. Seems to be pulling ahead a little bit on the backstroke, still behind Biddle. And you've also got Wyatt Wade and Jeremiah Ledwith in lanes 6 and 7, also from Noblesville. Aiden Biddle still in the lead, out in a 30.32 as they head into the breaststroke. Now you've got Wyatt Wade right behind him from Noblesville in second. Now we're seeing those breaststrokers pull ahead. That's Cole Bretzman and Caleb Champion. Aiden Biddle still has a massive lead over the rest of the field, though.
And it seems that breaststrokers tend to be good at IM and that third 50 of breaststroke. Because that's the third 50 is where a lot of swimmers tend to drop off and get tired, but these breaststrokers are just getting to their bread and butter.
Aiden Biddle now heading into the freestyle leg. He split a 33.06 on that breaststroke. Caleb Champion passed Wyatt Wade on the breaststroke leg, but Wyatt Wade could still be in the race for second. Aiden Biddle is going to take your consolation heat in the 200-yard IM with a 159.04. Second place, Caleb Champion from Northwestern with a 206.76. Right behind him, Wyatt Wade from Noblesville with a 207.02. Fourth, you've got Cole Bretzman from Mechanic-Waugh with a 208.00. Your state cut in this event is a 154.12. Sectional record is a 148.61 that was set last year by Wyatt Davis. In this championship heat, we also have 2 more breaststrokers that are in the 100 breast championship heat. That's Ben Albeck from Tipton and Ryan Malicki from Carmel. After the 2IM consolation heat, it looks like Carmel is in the lead with a 103. Noblesville right behind him with 96 points, and third Westfield with 72 points. Now we've got your championship heat of the 200-yard IM.
And it looks like the walkout song for the championship heat of the 200 IM is Paradise City by Guns N' Roses. And your championship final for the 200 IM. And lane 1, Ben Albach. Lane 2, Quinn Sweeney. Lane 3, Carter Lancaster. Lane 4, Augustus Rothrock. Lane 5, Ryan Malicki. Lane 6, Cooper Tinsley. Lane 7, Noah Brower. And lane 8, Drew Caldwell.
Here goes the fly leg. Gus Rothrock from Carmel is out first in the fly with a 23.58, followed by Carter Lancaster with a 24.13 and Ryan Malicki with a 24.19. Race for fourth right now. It looks like we have Quinn Sweeney from Guerin, Noah Brower from Westfield. They're in lanes 2 and 7 right now.
And watch those breaststrokers, Ryan Malicki and Ben Albach.
Ben Albach in lane 1 right now. We'll see how much ground he can make up on this breaststroke leg.
And it seems in those small races for like fourth place, what'll really separate those swimmers is how fast they can transition from stroke to stroke.
And right now it looks like Noah Brower is going to beat Quinn Sweeney into the wall after the breaststroke leg. First place though is still Gus Rothrock from Carmel, the 122.29. And Gus Rothrock is going to take first place with a time of a 148.24, well under the state cut. Second place, Ryan Malicki, 149.39. Third place going to go to freshman Carter Lancaster, 150.89. Fourth place, Noah Brower from Westfield, 155.57. Fifth place, Quinn Sweeney from Guerin with a 2-minute flat.
And
6th place, Tinsley from Westfield, 202.15. 7th place, Ben Albeck from Tipton. And 8th, Drew Caldwell from Western.
And Noah Brower with that 155, that was just barely above the state cut. So he has a pretty good shot at getting called into that
major
next week.
possibility. As for the rest of those Carmel swimmers that got 1, 2, and 3, they were all under the state cut.
Oh, quick mention, Augustus Rothrock from Carmel just broke the sectional record too by about 0.4.
Yeah, and that record was from last year. Wyatt Davis, 148.61. And Gus Rothrock had a 148.24 right there.
I also just want to correct myself real quick. The walkout song earlier was Sweet Child O' Mine by Guns N' Roses, not Paradise City. Here are your top 8 placers now for the 200 IM. 8th place, Caldwell from Western with a time of 2:08.35. 7th, Albeck from Tipton, 2:05.04. 6th place, Tinsley from Westfield, 2:02.15. 5th place, Sweeney from Guerin, the 200 flat. 4th, Brower from Westfield, 1:55.57. 3rd, Lancaster from Carmel, 1:50.89. 2nd, Ryan Malicki from Carmel, 1:49.39. And your winner of the 200 IM, who broke with a time that broke the sectional record, Gus Rothrock from Carmel with a 1:48.24.
next event today is going to be the 50 freestyle. We're going to have the consolation heat up first.
This is one of the most fun events to watch at sectionals, in my opinion, because it's all about the small details, the reaction time, the breakout, how often you're breathing, and even when you're breathing. And you only get one turn, so you really have to be aggressive going in and out of that wall.
Yeah, and with that also being such a short race, it can really come down right to the end on whoever gets their hand on that wall first.
And this first heat seed times are only separated by about 0.8 seconds, so every 100th and 10th of a second that you can shave off your time is crucial. And as your consolation final starts, in lane 1, Will Craig, lane 2, Hunter O'Connor, lane 3, Caleb Mathis, lane 4, Andrew Robertson, lane 5, Tyler Cox, lane 6, Matt Lobenstein, lane 7, Hunter Moore, and lane 8, Caleb Royal.
Already off the bat, Andrew Robertson seems to have a clear lead on the rest of the field going into that turn. However, the rest of the field for second is all fairly close. That's Tyler Cox and Caleb Mathis, lane 3 and 5. Andrew Robertson from Carmel is going to take first, 21.37. Second, Tyler Cox from Noblesville, 23.62. Caleb Mathis will take third from Noblesville, 23.81. Fourth, Hunter O'Connor from Maconaquah. Fifth, you got Will Craig from Westfield. Sixth is going to be Matt Lobenstein from Eastern. Seventh, Moore from Northwestern. And eighth, Caleb Royal from Tipton.
And Andrew Robertson from Carmel, he is just about 0.1 off that state cut. So the 50, it can be cutting it a little bit close, but he has a chance of being called back for state next week too.
Yeah, and that state cut is a 21.21. The record is a 20.1. This championship heat is going to be a fun one to watch. Your second and first seed are only separated by 0.01 from prelims.
And the top 8 swimmers that we're about to see here are only separated by about a second and a half overall. Also in this event last year, 5 of the 8 swimmers in the championship final were seniors.
So we've got a lot of new faces that we'll see swimming today. Here is your championship heat.
In lane 1, you're going to have Johannes Hoffman. Lane 2, Peter Bradshaw. Lane 3, Will Koch. Lane 4, Aiden Stanley. Lane 5, Christopher Holmes. Lane 6, Stone Conaway. Lane 7, Kevin Cameron. And in lane 8, you have Bennett Morse.
All right, here they go. Good starts from the entire field. Aiden Stanley really going for it. He's got Christopher Holmes and Will Koch right behind him.
Looks like Aiden Stanley has a small lead right now.
We're gonna see as they come into the wall. Aiden Stanley is gonna take first from Tipton with a time of 21.12. Second place is gonna be Holmes from Carmel with a 21.29. Third, Will Koch from Carmel, 21.53.
So it looks like the only person who got the state cut in that heat is Aiden Stanley from Tipton, but those Carmel boys in second and third look like they could have a shot at being called back as well.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin Cameron, fourth from Noblesville, 22.37. Fifth, Conaway from Tipton. 6th, Bradshaw from Western, 7th, Morse from Westfield, and 8th, Huffman from Guerin. The entire heat right there, all under 23s.
So yeah, that gap that they were separated by was even smaller than what they were seeded with in prelims.
Yeah, it really did come down to the wire there.
Hey Maya,
Yes, Jordan.
how do pirates measure the distance they swim?
I don't know. How do they?
In yards.
Now here are your 50 free results. Top 8 in 8th place, Johannes Hoffman from Guerin with a time of 22.98. 7th, Ben Morris from Westfield, 22.94. 6th, Peter Bradshaw from Western with a 22.51. 5th, Stone Conaway from Tipton with a 22.41. 4th from Noblesville, Kevin Cameron with a time of 22.37. 3rd place, Will Koch from Carmel, 21.53. 2nd, Christopher Holmes from Carmel, 21.29. And your champion for the 50 free with a state qualifying time of 21.12 is Aiden Stanley from Tipton. There is going to be a short break now, but we're going to get you your team scorings back now. Currently in 10th place is Eastern with 41 points. 9th place, Guerin with 53. 8th is Kokomo with 54. 7th, Mechaniqua with 57 points. 6th, Northwestern with 58 points. 5th, Western with 70 points. 4th, Tipton with 96 points. 3rd is Westfield with 117 points. 2nd, Noblesville with 143 points. And 1st is Carmel with 198 points. Welcome back. Next event is the 100 fly. This is going to be your consolation heat up first.
And as they're walking up to the blocks in lane 1, you're going to have Diego Geiner, the junior from Kokomo. Lane 2, Hunter Moore, the senior from Northwestern. Lane 3, Nathaniel Hand, the junior from Westfield. Lane 4, Justin Du Bois, the senior from Noblesville. Lane 5, Andrew Wilhite, the freshman from Noblesville. Lane 6, Benjamin Hillman, the sophomore from Kokomo. Lane 7, Caleb Royal, the senior from Tipton. And lane 8, Bryant Teagarden, the senior from Maconaquah.
Justin Du Bois and Andrew Wilhite from Noblesville both tied in prelims with a time of a 58.29. Du Bois is a senior, Wilhite is a freshman, both at Noblesville.
Du Bois is also returning to this heat from last year too, along with Bryant Teagarden from Maconaquah.
After the first 50, you've got Nathaniel Hand out first from Westfield with a 26.96. Second, Hillman from Kokomo, 27.05. And third is Du Bois from Noblesville, 27.08.
And it looks like Hand has pulled ahead, and it's going to be a three-way race for second.
Yes, it is, because lane 6, Benjamin Hillman from Kokomo now. First place, however, is going to go to Nathaniel Hand from Westfield, time of 57.96. Second, Drew Wilhite from Noblesville, the freshman, 58.22. Third, Hillman from Kokomo with a 58.87. Fourth will go to Du Bois from Noblesville. Fifth, Geiner from Kokomo. Sixth, Caleb Royal from Tipton. Seventh, Teagarden from Maconaquah. And eighth, Moore from Northwestern. Next up is going to be that championship finals heat. Should be a pretty good race as we have lanes 3, 4, 5, and 6, all with 51s and 150.
And also, Aiden Stanley is going to be in lane 5. We just saw him win the 50 free. So he swam the 50 free, he had that break, and now he's coming back to the championship heat.
Your state cut for this event is a 51.24, and the sectional record is a 49.27 set in 2018, excuse me, by Drew Kibler.
And your championship final for the 100 fly. In lane 1, Noah Brower, the junior from Westfield. Lane 2, Quinn Sweeney, the sophomore from Guerin. Lane 3, Christopher Holmes, the junior from Carmel. Lane 4, Augustus Rothrock, the senior from Carmel. Lane 5, Aiden Stanley, the senior from Tipton. Lane 6, Kellen Reese, the senior from Carmel. Lane 7, Kevin Cameron, the junior from Noblesville. And in lane 8, Carter Harrison, the senior from Tipton. And I mentioned this on Thursday, but underwaters are so important in this race. So really, really watch these boys underwaters. Really good underwaters from lane 6, Kellen Reese from Carmel, and also lane 4, Augustus Rothrock.
Yes, and Reese from Carmel is out first, 23.23. Second, Rothrock from Carmel, 23.24. And third, Holmes, 23.48.
Watch out for Andrew Robert. Wait. Christopher Holmes in lane 3. He's sneaking up there too.
It's going to be a race for second. Gus Rothrock is going to win with a 49.29.
That is just .02
off the sectional record. Second, though, Reese Keller from, got Kellen Reese from Carmel is second there. Third, Christopher Holmes, 50.01. Fourth, Aiden Stanley from Tipton, 51.07. Fifth, Brower from Westfield. Sixth, Kevin Cameron from Noblesville. Seventh, Quinn Sweeney from Guerin. And eighth, Harrison from Tipton.
And it looks like Kellen Reese from Carmel was just about, oh wait, no, he got the state cut too. Okay, so Rothrock, Reese, Holmes, Stanley. Yeah, those 4 swimmers all got the state cut, right?
Yes, that's right.
Hey, Maya.
Yes, Jordan.
Where do ghosts like to go swimming?
I don't know.
Lake Erie.
After those events right there, Westfield's in third with 140 points, Noblesville second with 168, and Carmel first with 251 points. Now we've got your top 8 finishers for the 100 fly. Eighth, you've got Carter Harrison from Tipton with a 55.66. Seventh, Quinn Sweeney from Guerin with a 53.39. Sixth, Kevin Cameron from Noblesville with a 53.34. Fifth, Noah Brower from Westfield with a 52.78. Fourth, Aiden Stanley from Tipton with a 51.07. Third, Christopher Holmes from Carmel with a 50.01. Second, Kellen Reese from Carmel with a 49.95. And first place for the 100 fly, Gus Rothrock from Carmel, senior, with a time of 49.29, just .02 off that sectional record.
In third place from Carmel with a state qualifying time of 50.01, Christopher Cole.
And once again, those top 4 finishers there were all under the 100 fly state cut and will go on to compete next weekend.
49.95, Kellen Reese. And winning the boys 100-yard butterfly in a state qualifying time of 49.29, Augustus Rothrock.
Your next event is the 100-yard freestyle. It's going to be your consolation heat.
And it looks like in this consolation heat, the only returning swimmer from last year is Tyler Cox, the senior from Noblesville in lane 3.
Our next race is the boys 100-yard freestyle. Heat number 1.
And your consolation heat. In lane 1, Caleb Smith, senior from Kokomo. Lane 2, Wyatt Wade from Noblesville. Lane 3, Tyler Cox from Noblesville. Lane 4, Graham Burton from Tipton. Lane 5, Drew Gingrich from Northwestern. Lane 6, Walker Hayes from Maconaquah. Lane 7, Matt Lobenstein from Eastern. And Lane 8, Cooper Deck from Northwestern.
First to the wall is Tyler Cox from Noblesville out into 24.41. Right behind him, Burton from Tipton with a 24.63. And third, freshman Wyatt Wade from Noblesville out in a time of 24.72.
Wade, Cox, and Burton still look pretty even going into the finish here.
Also on lane 6, Walker Hayes up there with them. It's going to be a race for her first right now. Tyler Cox is going to win your consolation heat with a 51.01. Right behind him, Wyatt Wade, freshman from Noblesville, 51.27. Third, Burton from Tipton with a 51.28. Fourth will go to Hayes from Maconaquah. Fifth, Gingrich from Northwestern. Sixth, Lobenstein from Eastern. Seventh, Smith from Kokomo. And eighth will be Deck from Northwestern.
And as the championship final starts to head out, remember that, again, in this event, 5 of the swimmers in last year's championship heat were seniors. So we're going to be seeing a lot of new names again.
Here's your championship finals heat for the 100 free.
your championship final for the 100 freestyle. Lane 1, Logan Pittner, the senior from Kokomo. Lane 2, Bennett Morse, the freshman from Westfield. Lane 3, Andrew Robertson, the sophomore from Carmel. Lane 4, Griffin Hadley, the senior from Carmel. Lane 5, Sean Sullivan, the sophomore from Carmel. Lane 6, Stone Conaway, the sophomore from Tipton. Lane 7, Aiden Yonkis, the sophomore from Westfield. And in lane 8, Peter Bradshaw, the junior from Western.
Your state cut in this event is a 46.92, and the sectional record is a 44.9, set in 2017 by Drew Kibler.
Griffin Hadley won this event at sectionals last year, so keep an eye out for him. And then Logan Pittner is the other one who's returning to the championship final of this event from last year as well.
Griffin Hadley is out first in a 21.97. Sullivan from Carmel, 22.23. And Robertson from Carmel, 22.59. Fourth, though, is Stone Conaway from Tipton. Let's not forget about him. Griffin Hadley is going to take first with a 45.35. Second, Sullivan, 46.67. Third, Andrew Robertson from Carmel, 46.87. Fourth, Conaway from Tipton. Fifth, Morse from Westfield. Sixth, Pittner from Kokomo. Seventh, Yonkis from Westfield. And eighth, Bradshaw from Western. Your top three finishers right there were all under the state cut, which is a 46.92.
Hey, Maya,
Yes, Jordan.
where do zombies like to go swimming?
I don't know.
The Dead Sea.
Now we're going to give you your top 8 finishers for the 100-yard freestyle. 8th place from Western, Peter Bradshaw with a 51.18. 7th from Westfield, Aiden Yonkis with a 50.08. 6th, Logan Pittner from Kokomo with a 49.83. 5th, Bennett Morris from Westfield, 49.58. 4th place, Stone Conaway from Tipton with a 49.25. 3rd place, Andrew Robertson from Carmel with a state qualifying time of 46.87. 2nd place, Sean Sullivan from Carmel with a 46.67, also a state qualifying time. And your champion for the 100-yard freestyle, in 1st place, Griffin Hadley, senior from Carmel with a state qualifying time of 45.35. Something to note from that heat, Jordan, is that places 2, 3, and 4 were all sophomores. So there's going to have 2 more years. We'll see how fast they can go in the upcoming years. And maybe that 2017 record by Drew Kibler will come down.
And then right after that, Bennett Morse was a freshman from Westfield. So he also has a lot of potential to score up there in the upcoming years.
Our next event today is going to be the boys 500-yard freestyle. This is your consolation final.
And this is really the endurance event of high school swimming.
Our next event is the boys 500-yard freestyle. Heat number 1 will be the consolation final.
And your consolation final. In lane 1, Grant Bricking from Guerin. Lane 2, Andrew J. from Kokomo. Lane 3, Luca Barbosa from Westfield. Lane 4, Ethan Champion from Northwestern. Lane 5, Austin Husky from Northwestern. Lane 6, Zion Shook from Tipton. Lane 7, Drake Boyer from Tipton. And Lane 8, Will Baxter from Northwestern. And the 500, this is really all about being consistent throughout the entire race. Breathing patterns, underwater kicks, how hard you're kicking, and your pace all really have to stay the same throughout the whole race for you to see some success.
And Ethan Champion from Northwestern is already over a second ahead of the rest of the field with a 27.09. Almost a body length ahead, but keep in mind, it is a 500. It can change very easily.
And this is also, this is a really, really easy event to kind of get into your pace, but then get too comfortable with it and slow down as the race goes on. And even if you're only adding like half a second off to your pace every 50, that ends up by the end of this race since it's so long.
Little fun fact for you, back in the 1920s and 1930s, 20-yard pools were used instead of the 25-yard pools that we use today. They started to use 25-yard pools around the 1940s into the 1950s.
Ethan Champion in lane 4 from Northwestern is just widening his lead every 50. Then lane 5 and lane 6, Husky and Shook, they seem to be pretty even, so that'll be a good race to see develop throughout the whole 500.
Yeah, most of the heat here is holding 32s and 33s. Around the halfway point now, Ethan Champion in lane 4 from Northwestern still in the lead. Right behind him, Husky from Northwestern, his teammate. And third is Zion Shook from Tipton. Still got a solid race for second right here, lanes 5 and 6. And now coming up in lane 3, that's Barbosa from Westfield.
And this is a really important event to be like really confident in your strategy, because I think that's what we're seeing in lane 3 with Barbosa. He's starting to catch up now, probably making a statement, because that's his strategy, is to come in later in the race and really pass all those people who took it out too hard in the beginning maybe.
Right behind Barbosa is Jay from Kokomo, who also seems to be picking up the pace a little bit right now.
And this last 100 here is where a lot of these distance swimmers like to really pick up their pace and finish strong.
It looks like Zion Shook from Tipton is now pulling ahead of Husky from Northwestern. And now Barbosa is right up there with him.
And you're gonna hear the bell in a minute, signifying the last 50.
Still got a race for second here. We'll see if Barbosa can catch up to Zion Shook from Tipton. It looks like he just might.
It looks like he is coming to a really strong finish.
Yeah, fast
here.
flip turn right there. That can make the difference. But your first place finisher for this Constellation Heat is going to be Ethan Champion from Northwestern with a 5:12.4. Here's your race for second. Zion Shook from Tipton is going to take second with a 5:18.53. Third will go to Barbosa from Westfield with a 5:19.21. Fourth, you've got Husky from Northwestern. Fifth, Jay from Kokomo. Sixth, Boyer from Tipton. Seventh place finisher, Baxter from Northwestern. And rounding out the heat in eighth, Bricking from Guerin. In our championship final of the 500 free, we have 4 freshmen in the heat. Here they come now.
and your championship final of the 500 free. In lane 1, Andrew Wilhite, the freshman from Noblesville. Lane 2, Cooper Tinsley, the junior from Westfield. Lane 3, Aaron Shackle, the sophomore from Carmel. Lane 4, Greg Enoch, the freshman from Carmel. Lane 5, Caden Lancaster, the sophomore from Carmel. Lane 6, Luke Whitlock, the freshman from Noblesville. Lane 7, Evan Lake, the junior from Westfield. And in lane 8, Mason Snyder, the freshman from Noblesville.
Like I said, we got 4 freshmen in this heat. 3 of those freshmen are all from Noblesville, the 4th freshman from Carmel.
And that freshman from Carmel, he seated first in this whole event.
Yeah, he had a time of 4:45.51.
And seeing a freshman win the championship heat of sectionals is pretty rare, so let's see if he can pull that off.
And overall, it's a pretty young heat. The other swimmers, there are 2 sophomores and then 2 juniors. So this should be a fun event to watch year to year now.
And as these swimmers turn on the far side of the pool, you're going to see their counters. Counters are a way for the team to sort of communicate with the swimmers in the water. So they'll often shake the counter, and swaying side to side means that the swimmers are on pace, and up and down means that they need to go faster. And it also helps so that the swimmer can just focus on their race. They don't have to worry about counting these longer events. Now, counters are also used for other distance events, especially in club meets, like the mile, which is 66 laps.
And right now, you've still got Greg Enoch, freshman from Carmel, out in front, followed by Caden Lancaster, also from Carmel. Third right behind them is Aaron Shackle, but 4th, Luke Whitlock from Noblesville is up there. Caden Lancaster now starting to make his move on Greg.
Now, I think every swimmer in this heat right now has a tech suit on. Most of the swimmers here are wearing tech suits so that they can get the highest placing that they can. But a misconception about these suits is that they are the sole cause of huge time drops. So tech suits do contribute to large time drops because they do repel the water and they're very tight to your body. So it really helps you feel more on top of the water. But a lot of those huge time drops that you're going to see today are more the mental state of the swimmer. So tech suits really help because when swimmers put those suits on, they know that it's go time and get really into a strong mindset. And that's why you see those big drops. But those drops are mostly the swimmer and the hard work that the swimmer put in over the season. The tech suits really only help with fractions of a second.
And now see Caden Lancaster has passed Enoch from Carmel. Both are holding about 27s and 28s. Luke Whitlock, freshman from Noblesville, and Aaron Shackle from Carmel are going to be battling it out for 3rd place, but currently Aaron Shackle has a pretty far lead ahead of Luke Whitlock. Let's not forget our outside lanes. Tinsley from Westfield right there, but Mason Snyder from Noblesville, also a freshman, not far behind him.
Lancaster, who placed second in this event last year, looks like he's taking the lead in the last 50.
There's the bell. Your state cut for this event is a 441.41, sectional record 422.86 from 2019. That was Jacob Mitchell. First place going to go to Caden Lancaster from Carmel with a 433.1. Second place, Greg Enoch from Carmel with a 435.92. Third, Aaron Shackle with a 440.55. Fourth, Luke Whitlock from Noblesville with a 442.35. Fifth place goes to Evan Lake from Westfield with a 453.92. Sixth place, Tinsley from Westfield. And seventh place, Mason Snyder from Noblesville. And eighth place will be Drew Wilhite from Noblesville.
So those top three swimmers, Lancaster, Enoch, and Shackle, all went under the state cut. Luke Whitlock from Noblesville, he was just about a second off, which means that he has a very, very good chance of being called in. Since this is a longer event, there are normally bigger time gaps in between places. So yeah, Luke Whitlock, watch out for his name, because there's a pretty good shot that he'll be at state next week. And almost half of the championship heat making it to state. That just kind of shows the depth that our sectional has too. Hey, Maya.
Yes, Jordan.
Why wasn't the pumpkin allowed to swim?
Why wasn't he?
There was no lifeguard on duty.
That one was pretty funny.
Oh, quick fun fact about that 500 too. Greg Enoch and Caden Lancaster, who placed first and second, are cousins. So the top 5 finishers in the 500 free all dropped 9 seconds or more from their prelim times too.
Here are your top 8 finishers for the 500 free. 8th place from Noblesville, freshman Drew Wilhite with a 5:10.57. 7th place from Noblesville, freshman Mason Snyder with a 5:06.4. 6th place, Cooper Tinsley from Westfield, junior with a 5:05.67. 5th place, junior from Westfield, Evan Lake with a 4:53.92. In 4th place, freshman Luke Whitlock from Noblesville with a 4:42.35. In 3rd place, Aaron Shackle from Carmel, a sophomore with a state qualifying time of 4:40.55. 2nd place, freshman Greg Enoch from Carmel with a state qualifying time of 4:35.92. And in first place, your champion for the 500 free, Caden Lancaster, sophomore from Carmel, with a state qualifying time of 4:33.10.
And it looks like Caden Lancaster is not on the block for the top 8 of the 500 free, but that is because he is in the relay that is coming up right now, the 200 free relay. So he's probably preparing for that.
Yep, what Jordan said, our next event is the 200-yard freestyle relay. So we'll take a break from those individual events for a moment and get some relay action.
Now on Thursday night, we saw some relay exchanges that were extra safe. So today we are going to be seeing relay exchanges that are a little bit faster because these relays are really trying to get the fastest time that they can to make it to state. So they're still going to be safe so that they have the opportunity to swim at state at all, but you're going to see some quicker exchanges.
Yep, and this is your consolation heat of the 200-yard freestyle relay up first.
Your consolation heat for the 200 freestyle relay. In lane 4 will be Western, and in lane 5 will be Eastern. To start off these relays, in lane 4 you have Avery Berryman, and in lane 5 you have Eli Houston. And diving into the water now, in lane 4 you have Charlie Conkle, and in lane 5 you have Caleb Vogel.
Western in the lead right now with Eastern right behind them.
Coming up next, in lane 4 you have Sam Bolby, and lane 5 you have Trey Lukes. And finishing off the relays, in lane 4 you have Tanner Vance, and in lane 5 you have Matt Lobenstein.
Western in lane 4 is going to win your consolation heat with a time of 1:40.04. Eastern second right behind them with a 1:43.27.
And that looks like a time drop for both teams from prelims.
Next up is going to be your championship final heat. State cut time for this event is a 1:27.8, and the sectional record is a 1:23.7, set in 2017 by Carmel.
And your championship final for the 200 free relay. In lane 1, Northwestern. Lane 2, Garin. Lane 3, Westfield. Lane 4, Carmel. Lane 5, Tipton. Lane 6, Kokomo. Lane 7, Noblesville. And lane 8, Maconaquah. Now Tipton is seated second again in this relay after placing 5th last year. Really keep an eye out for their anchor. It's Aiden Stanley. We just saw him win the 50 freestyle earlier today. And the first swimmers on each of these relays. In lane 1, Colby Honor. Lane 2, Johannes Hoffman. Lane 3, Noah Brower. Lane 4, Ryan Malicki. Lane 5, Graham Burton. Lane 6, Logan Pittner. Lane 7, Tyler Cox. And lane 8, Bryant Teagarden. And up next in lane 2, lane 1, Cooper Deck. Lane 2, Dane Leonard. Lane 3, Aiden Yonkis. Lane 4, Augustus Rothrock. Lane 5, Carter Harrison. Lane 6, Isaac Elkin. Lane 7, Justin Du Bois. And lane 8, Vincenzo Rooker. Your third swimmers in lane 1, Hunter Moore. Lane 2, Grant Bricking. Lane 3, Bennett Morse. Lane 4, Andrew Robertson. Lane 5, Stone Conaway. Lane 6, Diego Geiner. Lane 7, Wyatt Wade. And lane 8, Walker Hayes. And your anchors for these relays. In lane 1, Will Baxter. Lane 2, Quinn Sweeney. Lane 3, Nathaniel Hand. Lane 4, Caden Lancaster. Lane 5, Aiden Stanley. Lane 6, Caleb Smith. Lane 7, Mason Snyder. And lane 8, Hunter O'Connor.
Carmel is going to win the 200 free relay with a 124.24. Second place will go to Westfield, 129.95, and third place, Tipton, 130.56. Fourth place will go to Noblesville, fifth to Kokomo, sixth to Garin, seventh to Maconaquah, and eighth to Northwestern. Your only team under the state cut here was Carmel. Westfield was only 2 seconds off of it, though. And Tipton, 3 seconds.
And it's pretty typical for a lot of 200 freestyle relays to get called back to state, just because the cut is so fast for this event. Hey, Maya.
Yes, Jordan.
What type of stroke does a classical musician use when swimming?
I don't know.
The backstroke. And that's what's coming up next, the 100 backstroke.
I think that was my favorite one so far. Only got 3 more events today. 100 back will be first, then we've got 100 breaststroke, and then we'll finish off the meet today with the 400-yard freestyle relay. Your current team standings: 10th, Eastern with 58 points, 9th, Maconaquah with 88, 8th, Garin with 92, Western with 99, 6th, Northwestern with a 102, 5th, Kokomo with 111, 4th, Tipton with 188, 3rd, Westfield with 233, 2nd, Noblesville with 252, and 1st is Carmel with 397 points. Here are your top 8 finishers for the 200-yard freestyle relay. 8th is Northwestern with a 138.03. 7th, Maconaquah with 137.85. 6th place is Garin Catholic with a 135.23. 5th place will go to Kokomo with a 134.99. 4th will go to Noblesville with a 133.66. 3rd place will go to Tipton with a 130.56. Westfield will take 2nd with a 129.95. And your champion for the 200-yard freestyle relay is Carmel with a state qualifying time of 124.24.
And coming up next will be the consolation final of the 100 backstroke. It looks like the only swimmer returning from last year to this heat is Zion Shook, the senior from Tipton. And as your consolation final steps up to the blocks. And lane 1, Jack Ellis from Westfield. Lane 2, Ethan Stanley from Tipton. Lane 3, Zion Shook from Tipton. Lane 4, Will Craig from Westfield. Lane 5, Gavin Yoakum from Westfield. Lane 6, Tanner Vance from Western. Lane 7, Richard Leary from Maconaquah. And lane 8, Luke Mobby from Western.
Westfield has all 3 of their swimmers in this heat for the 100 backstroke.
And Tipton has 2, too. So those 2 teams will be scoring a lot of points in this heat.
Right now out first is Will Craig from Westfield with a 29.2. Close behind him, Zion Shook from Tipton with a 30.66 for his first 50. We saw a solid race for second. Lanes 2, 3, 5, and 6, all very close. Craig from Westfield is going to take the consolation heat with a 59.86. Second will be his teammate Gavin Yoakum from Westfield with a 102.84. Third, Zion Shook from Tipton with a 103.48. Fourth, Vance from Western. Fifth, Stanley from Tipton. Sixth, Leary from Maconaquah. Seventh, Ellis from Westfield. And eighth, Mobby from Western.
And as the championship heat gets ready to walk out, the top 6 swimmers in this event from last year are either not returning this year or were seniors. So the top 6 events in this, or the top 6 places in this entire event are completely open for anybody to take.
Noblesville and Carmel both have all 3 of their swimmers in this championship final, so that will be a major point scoring opportunity for them.
And especially the fight for second place between Noblesville and Westfield right now. They're about 20 points apart, and Noblesville having all 3 of their swimmers in the top 8 here should give Noblesville a little bit of an advantage. And your championship final of the 100 backstroke. In lane 1, Jeremiah Ledwith, the sophomore from Noblesville. Lane 2, Caleb Mathis, the freshman from Noblesville. Lane 3, Connor Lathrop, the junior from Carmel. Lane 4, Carter Lancaster, the freshman from Carmel. Lane 5, Sean Sullivan, the sophomore from Carmel. Lane 6, Drew Caldwell, the senior from Western. Lane 7, Drew Gingrich, the senior from Northwestern. And lane 8, Shepard Huff, the freshman from Noblesville.
Your state cut in this event is a 51.43, and the sectional record is a 48.07 set by Wyatt Davis in 2019.
And really watch all of these boys underwater kicks. That's the most important part in this race. And all of the boys in this top heat have really good underwaters.
Yep, 3 freshmen in this heat, one of which is Carter Lancaster, seated first with a time of 51.96. Great start in underwater from him and Sean Sullivan in lane 5. Sullivan pulls ahead from Lancaster on that underwater of the turn. He is out in a time of 24.05, Lancaster out in a time of 24.45, and Connor Lathrop from Carmel out in a time of 25.44.
Lancaster is starting to pull ahead. This is going to be a race to the finish.
Yes, it is. His underwater just a smidge longer than Sean Sullivan's. It's going to come right down to the wire here. Freshman Carter Lancaster from Carmel is going to win the 100 backstroke with a time of 49.75. Second will be his teammate Sullivan from Carmel with 49.96. And third, also from Carmel, Connor Lathrop with a time of 51.8. Fourth place will be from Noblesville, Jeremiah Ledwith. Fifth place, Caleb Mathis, also from Noblesville. Sixth place, Drew Caldwell from Western. Seventh, Shepard Huff from Noblesville. And eighth, Drew Gingrich from Northwestern.
Carmel going 1, 2, 3 in that event is going to add quite a few points to their total. And then Noblesville going 4th, 5th, and 7th. That is also a great addition to the total points.
Carter Lancaster and Sean Sullivan both under the state cut. Connor Lathrop only missed it by a tiny bit, so hopefully we'll see him called back.
And after that backstroke, Noblesville pulled ahead by Westfield even more. They're now in second by about 40 points. Hey, Maya.
Yes, Jordan.
What's an artist's favorite swimming technique?
I don't know.
The brush stroke.
And that's right, 100 breast is going to be our next event, but first we're going to get you your top 8 finishers for the 100 back. Here are your top 8 finishers for the 100 backstroke. In 8th place, Drew Gingrich from Northwestern with a 58.5. 7th is going to be Shepard Huff from Noblesville with a 58.13. 6th place, Drew Caldwell from Western with a 57.23. 5th place from Noblesville, freshman Caleb Mathis with a 56.94. 4th place, also from Noblesville, Jeremiah Ledwith with a 56.9. 3rd place from Carmel, Connor Lathrop Jr. with a time of 51.8. 2nd place, Sean Sullivan from Carmel with a state qualifying time of 49.96. And your champion for the 100 back, freshman Carter Lancaster from Carmel with a state qualifying time of 49.75. Next up is going to be the consolation heat of the 100-yard breaststroke. We should have a battle for 2nd place between Ben Ice in lane 3 and Mason Snyder in lane 5, both with 107s.
And then Mason Hill, Isaac Elkin, and Nathaniel Hand are all returning to this heat after last year too.
As Nathaniel Hand is seated first for this consolation heat with a 104.87.
And as they're stepping up to the blocks in lane 1, you're going to have Mason Hill from Western. Lane 2, Isaac Elkin from Kokomo. Lane 3, Ben Ice from Westfield. Lane 4, Nathaniel Hand from Westfield. Lane 5, Mason Snyder from Noblesville. Lane 6, Parks Ortman from Northwestern. Lane 7, Jonah Setmeyer from Noblesville. And Lane 8, Dane Leonard from Guerin.
Currently, Nathaniel Hand from Westfield is in first, out in a time of 30.21. Second place is Ben Ice, his teammate, out in a 30.87. Mason Snyder pulling ahead now. But Nathaniel Hand is going to take first in your consolation heat with a 103.98. Ben Ice will take second from Westfield with a 106.37 and outtouches Mason Snyder, who placed third with a 106.85. Fourth place, Jonah Setmeyer from Noblesville. Fifth place, Hill from Western. Sixth, Elkin from Kokomo. Seventh, Ortman from Northwestern. And eighth, Leonard from Guerin.
Westfield going 1-2 in that heat. That's going to bring their total score up a little bit more. And that really shows that swimming is very much a team sport because they both swam individually, but they swam for their team, and their scores together will contribute a great deal.
So important things that we're going to see in this championship heat of the 100 breaststroke. Watch those underwaters. Those take up a majority of the race. And you're also going to want to watch the tempo of these breaststrokers. They've really got to get that tempo up there if they want to break a minute in the 100 breast. Your state cut time in this event is a 58.17. Sectional record is a 55.03 set in 2018.
And your championship final of the 100 breast. In lane 1, Ben Albach, the senior from Tipton. Lane 2, Caleb Champion, the sophomore from Northwestern. Lane 3, Kellen Reese, the senior from Carmel. Lane 4, Ryan Malicki, the junior from Carmel. His brother in lane 5, Brandon Malicki, the freshman from Carmel. Lane 6, Aiden Biddle, the sophomore from Noblesville. Lane 7, Cole Bretzman, the senior from Mechaniqua. And lane 8, Johannes Hoffman, the senior from Guerin.
I think we're going to have an interesting race here. Lane 4 and 5, Ryan Malicki and Brandon Malicki, both brothers, seeded 1 and 2. Ryan Malicki with a time of 57.61, and Brandon Malicki, a freshman, with a time of 1 minute .84.
And the race for third will be especially interesting. Caleb Champion, Kellen Reese, and Aiden Biddle all went 101s in prelims.
Great underwater and start from Ryan Malicki in lane 4.
Aiden Biddle in lane 6 is staying right up with lane 5 as well.
First is Ryan Malicki out in a time of 25.98. Second, Brandon Malicki, 27.21. Third will go to Biddle from Noblesville, 27.44. First place is going to go to Ryan Malicki from Carmel, 55.04, 0.01 off of our sectional record here. His brother Brandon Malicki second with a 57.22. Third will go to Reese Keller with a 58.57. Fourth, Aiden Biddle from Noblesville with a time of 58.58. Fifth, Champion from Northwestern. Sixth, Albeck from Tipton. Seventh, Brettsman from Aconnequa, and eighth, Hoffman from Guerin.
Ryan Malicki only 0.01 off that record. He's only a junior though. He still has one more year. So my bet is that he'll definitely get that next year. And Biddle in lane 6 from Noblesville. He was just off the state cut, but I think that is definitely close enough to get called to state. So we will probably see his name next week.
Only got one more event today, and that would be the 400-yard freestyle relay. But before we get to that, we'll give you your top 8 finishers for the 100 breaststroke.
Hey, Maya.
Yes, Jordan.
What kind of swimmer makes a good gardener?
I don't know.
One with great seed times.
That's right.
Something else you may have noticed, a lot of the boys' hair is completely gone now. It's not shaved in artistic ways anymore because a lot of them shave them completely so that they can go faster in the water, I guess. In my opinion, they should just leave them cut in the artistic ways all the time. Something else to point out, third and fourth place, Kellen Reese and Aiden Biddle were only separated by 0.01.
Here are your top 8 finishers for the 100-yard breaststroke. In 8th place, Johannes Hoffman from Guerin, a senior with a 104.45. 7th place, Cole Brettsman with a 103.43 from Aconnequa. Placing 6th is Ben Albeck from Tipton, a senior with a 102.81. And 5th, Caleb Champion from Northwestern, a sophomore with a time of 102.12. 4th place, sophomore Aiden Biddle from Noblesville with a 58.58. Third place, Kellen Reese from Carmel, a senior with a 58.57. Second, we have Brandon Malicki, freshman from Carmel with a state qualifying time of 57.22. And your champion for the 100-yard breaststroke in first place, junior Ryan Malicki from Carmel with a 55.04, also qualifying him for state.
At this time, we will take a 5-minute courtesy break. 5-minute courtesy break before the final relay.
There's going to be a quick 5-minute break before the 400-yard freestyle relay that'll wrap up the meet. Up next is your consolation heat of the 400-yard freestyle relay.
In lane 4, you're going to have Westfield, and in lane 5, you'll have Eastern.
It's now time for the final race of the afternoon, the boys 400-yard freestyle relay. Heat number 1 will be the consolation final.
In lane 1 for Westfield, Noah Brower. And in lane 2 for Eastern, Eli Houston.
What's interesting for Westfield's team is Noah Brower is the only swimmer that competed last year on this team that is here this year again. He goes on a time of 23 flat. Eastern's leadoff swimmer has a 27.33 for his first 50 split.
And diving in for Westfield is sophomore Aiden Yonkis. Coming up for Eastern is freshman Timothy Cawthorn. Now, something interesting about Westfield is that the difference between 8th and 9th for this relay and prelims was .19, which is what put Westfield in this heat rather than the championship heat. And coming up for Westfield is freshman Bennett Morse. And now for Eastern, junior Trey Lukes. And now for Westfield's anchor, junior Evan Lake. And now for Eastern's anchor, senior Matt Lobenstein.
Westfield is going to win your consolation seat for the 400 free relay with a 3:16.82. That time actually is just over what time they went last year when they placed second. Eastern is going to place second with a 3:54.56.
And that's a pretty nice time drop for Eastern, too. That's about 4 seconds faster than their prelims time.
Next up is going to be the championship heat of the 400-yard freestyle relay. Some interesting things to note from last year is that there were 3 teams that all went 3:32s. Noblesville placed 4th with a 3:32.14, and Kokomo placed 5th with a 3:32.15, only 0.01 difference. Northwestern was right behind them with a 3:32.77. So watching those 3 teams battle in this heat is going to be interesting to watch, especially with Westfield being in the consolation heat. Your state cut for this event is a 3:12.98, and the sectional record is a 3:04.46 set by Carmel.
Now this walkout song that the 400 free relay chose was also the same song that they chose 2 years ago at the sectional meet for the 400 free relay. So when it was the last time it was hosted at Noblesville, they chose the same song for the same event to walk out to.
This is going to be your final heat for the evening. Should be a good race.
And your championship heat for the 400 free relay. In lane 1, Garin. Lane 2, Noblesville. Lane 3, Northwestern. Lane 4, Carmel. Lane 5, Western. Lane 6, Tipton. Lane 7, Kokomo. And lane 8, Mechaniqua. And starting off your relays, in lane 1, sophomore Quinn Sweeney. Lane 2, freshman Luke Whitlock. Lane 3, sophomore Ethan Champion. Lane 4, senior Ethan Johns. Lane 5, junior Peter Bradshaw. Lane 6, senior Graham Burton. Lane 7, senior Logan Pittner. And lane 8, senior Bryant Teagarden. And a strong lead from Ethan Johns of Carmel, going out in the first 50 with a 23:34, followed closely by Western with a start of 23:99. And next up in lane 1, junior Grant Bricking. Lane 2, senior Justin Du Bois. Lane 3, senior Austin Husky. Lane 4, senior Griffin Hadley. Lane 5, senior Drew Caldwell. Lane 6, senior Caleb Royal. Lane 7, junior Diego Geiner. And lane 8, junior Walker Hayes. All of these second swimmers are upperclassmen. Most of them are seniors.
Carmel in first, Griffin Hadley out with a 21.65. We've got Noblesville and
Western.
battling it out for second now. Noblesville has the slight lead as Kevin Cameron's about to head into the water.
And your third swimmers in lane 1, senior Dan Leonard. Lane 2, junior Kevin Cameron. Lane 3, senior Drew Gingrich. Lane 4, sophomore Sean Sullivan. Lane 5, junior Taylor Rathbun. Lane 6, freshman Ethan Stanley. Lane 7, sophomore Andrew Jay. And lane 8, senior Richard Leary.
Noblesville's now growing their lead over Western. Kevin Cameron out in a time of 22.43. Taylor Rathbun for Western with a 25.18 for his 50.
And your anchor swimmers in lane 1, senior Johannes Hoffman. Lane 2, sophomore Aiden Biddle. Lane 3, sophomore Caleb Champion. Lane 4, freshman Greg Enoch. Lane 5, junior Mason Hill. Lane 6, senior Ben Albach. Lane 7, senior Caleb Smith. And lane 8, senior Cole Bretzman. Carmel and Noblesville are really dominating the field here.
Carmel's going to win the 400 freestyle relay with a 3:08.47, 4 seconds under the state cut. Second's going to go to Noblesville in lane 2 with a time of 3:18.13. Western is going to claim third in lane 5 with a 3:27.83. Fourth is going to go to Kokomo. Fifth to Northwestern, sixth to Mechaniqua, seventh to Tipton, and eighth to Guerin. That was our final event for the day. We're going to get the team scores back to you shortly.
Also, something to add, Westfield with their time in the consolation final would have gotten second in this heat, but because they got ninth in prelims, ninth is the highest spot that they can get right now. So even though they had a time that would have placed them second, they are ninth.
You've got your team scores now. 10th is going to be Eastern with 72 points. 9th will be Guerin with 126 points. 8th, Mechaniqua with 129 points. Kokomo will be 7th with 144 points. 6th will go to Western with 154 points. 4th will go to Fifth will go to Northwestern with 157 points. 4th will go to Tipton with 235 points. 3rd to Westfield with 285 points. Second to Noblesville with 353 points, and first will go to Carmel with 543 points.
Hey, Maya.
Yes, Jordan?
I'd say that went swimmingly, wouldn't you?
I would. We're also going to get you the 400 free results. Ninth is going to go to Westfield with a time of 3:16.82. 7th will go to Guerin with a 3:34.77. 6th to Tipton with a 3:32.3. 5th to Mechaniqua with a 3:31.61. 4th to Northwestern with a 3:30.66. 3rd to Western with a 3:27.83. 2nd to Noblesville with a 3:18.13. And first we'll go to Carmel with a state qualifying time of 3:08.47.
Okay, we'd like to thank our other great sponsors, Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, Gaylor Electric, Chuck Goodrich, President and CEO, Van Osdal and Ferrer Inc., Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Jamie Carmesino, Carpenter Realtor. Visit HamiltonCounty.com, Hamilton County Reporter.
Thank you for watching the boys sectional swim meet here on Hamilton County TV Sports, presented by Logan Street Signs and Banners in Noblesville. We'll see you next time.
Second place, the team from Noblesville. And winning the boys 400-yard freestyle relay with a state qualifying time of 3:08.47 from Carmel, the team of Ethan Johns, Griffin Medley, Sean Sullivan, and Greg Wiener.
State championships will be held next weekend at IUPUI Natatorium. Thank you for watching the boys sectional swim meet on Hamilton County Sports. We'll see you next time.
In ninth place, Kokomo. Eighth place, Aaron Cracker. Seventh place, Laconic. Sixth place, Western. Fifth place, Northwestern. In fourth place, Tipton. In third place, Westfield. In second place, Noblesville. In winning